Everybody, just me checking in again. We've been doing quite a bit of work recently with promoting some of our international programs, especially the 100 Heads Challenge, with getting um, obviously 100 schools over to China to set up international partnerships. We've had loads of interest. Really quick off the starting mark. We've got £150,000, which we're putting into the education system to get, as I say, 100 schools over there and get these things started. Um, I would just like to take a couple of steps back before that and actually go a bit more detail about why on earth do I actually think it's of any value, and why is it so important now to kind of have these sort of programs available. We spend a lot of time within schools and with language teachers, and the education system as a whole in the UK, focuses are changing, infrastructure is changing. We have this awful habit in the UK of every 4 years, if not sooner, the focus of the whole education system kind of changes. The way everybody is marked, the way that people are assessed, how it's assessed, the amount of recording and measuring and examinations. There are opinions that can cover all angles. That's not what I'd like to share. The point that I'd like to focus on is the fact that languages, we really have seen such a decline in, I suppose, the emphasis put on the importance of languages and why why they're important. It's nuts, absolutely nuts, to think that we are a tiny country, we are an island, we are a potentially united kingdom of four different countries and ways of thinking, but we're tiny. We're part of a massive global community. I'm pretty sure, although there is quite widespread understanding of the English language, it's not everybody's first language. And you guys who are bilingual out there, you'll understand that. Although I'm fluent in Mandarin, so when I'm speaking Chinese, I am Chinese Tom, but I'll never potentially be as good at speaking Chinese as I will be in English. It's just not your mother tongue. Um, so relying on everybody else being able to speak English is nuts. It's a fallacy, thinking that you can really build long-term relationships and have friendships and joint projects and partnerships and sister school relationships, that kind of thing, are based around the idea that everybody's going to be able to speak English. It's just not true. It's it's such a great example looking at China, because they learn English from kindergarten. So from the ages of like 3 or 4, they start to learn a foreign language all the way through their school career into university. So everybody technically has done 10 plus years of English language learning. Doesn't mean when they come out of school that they can speak English or they have any interest. It's more of a mathematical sequence of, you put these words in these orders and this is what you mean, and to respond to this is da 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 da. So for us as an island nation, we rely heavily on import and export. We rely actually quite heavily on our financial systems to keep our GDP up, to keep our economy going, and not to be heavily investing in people understanding other cultures, understanding other countries, and be able to communicate, like effectively communicate with other countries, is nuts. It's absolute lunacy. And to see such a decline in people taking on MFL subjects in schools, although Chinese is seeing a bit of a trend in its increase, and there are funding streams being made available. The DFE looking to put 10 million in over the next 4 years. The Confucius Institute and classrooms through Hanban, they're doing their part, and the British Council, they're doing everything they can to kind of support it. But they are just slivers of the entire process that's required to get this thing moving. And it's all fair and well there being the opportunities or the facilitators out there, but if the motivation, if the basic understanding behind why you should be learning languages isn't promoted, and if there isn't an emphasis put on the importance of bringing in language teaching into schools, then it's just going to be lost. It's not that difficult an equation. If people find it important, they will spend more time on it. If you bring in people who really care, really get excited about what they do, they are going to inspire people. They're going to create aspirations within young individuals who will then, through their ongoing development, will see and find more opportunities how to get involved. But if you don't put build the right infrastructure and the environment for these things to flourish, you can throw schemes and initiatives and you can make all these changes, but it's not going to have any lasting impact. I'm really keen to hear more from all of you guys around the UK. It's great to be able to follow on Facebook groups and things like that and see some forums and discussions going on. But I don't think there's enough of this in conversation. I don't think there's enough of us out there trying to really figure out how do we make some lasting impact and how on earth we can actually, who do we go, whose doors do we knock on, who do we need to be making phone calls to, which kind of programs need to be out there. Really want to hear back from you guys on the front line. Especially for us, China is so interesting, so amazing. You know my story. I've been over there for a long time, and it continues to reward me. We are building programs and funding streams to help schools, help those individuals with foresight. I know it's difficult to get these things in, and I know there are budget restrictions. I get all that. But what would be really useful is to get direct feedback from those of you who really care, who really see not just Chinese but languages being promoted. And I think once you have an understanding and a basic foundation of how to work with people who aren't English, who aren't native, who aren't part of this cultural infrastructure, once you've kind of seen behind the curtain, it opens up such an opportunity to broaden horizons and such an opportunity to really see that the world's a much bigger place and things are not always as they seem. So through our international work, I really want to be able to share with as many people as possible how we go about doing our sister schools and how we go about teaching Mandarin, how we go about upskilling and training MFL teachers and Chinese teachers and things like that. We haven't 100% perfected it. I don't think anybody else has. So I think opening lines of communication is for everybody's best interest. So yeah, that's my little mini rant over. I'd love to hear from some of you guys on the front line, especially in the MFL departments. Well, how can we make bigger impacts? Because I'm keen. I'm kind of committed to this. So I look forward to hearing from you guys. Again, comments on YouTube posts, on Facebook, acukeducation.com is the website. Get in touch with me directly. I love hearing from everybody. So speak to you again soon.